Big up, everyone. What is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another Liverpool talk show. Hope we're all doing well. Big up. Bless up to everyone in the building. Bless up to everyone locked in. Hope we're all doing well on this Tuesday, late Tuesday afternoon. It is currently 4:30 where I am in the UK, in the West Midlands in the UK. Big up to everyone, wherever you are worldwide, whether you're in, I don't know, whether you're across the world, whether you're in the UK as well, whether you're in the United States. Big up to anyone, you know what I'm saying? Big up to you all. Again, I don't know. Again, people, something happened and I overslept yet again. So here I am having to reschedule the stream for a later time. Apologies, people. I don't know why it's happening, but I need to do better. I need to get back into my regular routine. I know that. Nonetheless, I'm still here doing another show, another Liverpool talk segment where we discuss anything and everything Liverpool Football Club related. So, looking forward to the segment, people. Looking forward to discussing the discussing points of the stream, as you can see in the title, with the lovely people in the building. So, I wanted to discuss a little bit about the Ibrahima Mbaye deal. Seems to have been some development on that regarding that progressing nicely, which is good news. We'll get into all of that. We'll discuss it, and I'd love to get your guys' opinions. I'll give my opinion, but I'd love to get your opinions on it too. And we're also going to discuss about the Barcola deal now. I did say I wasn't going to discuss much about Barcola until it happened, but um, it's hard to ignore it now because it's dragging on a little bit too much for my liking. So there is some there has been some development in it that we'll discuss too. I've got all the sources ready here. So we'll discuss both talking points. So should be a good stream, people. I'd love to get your guys' opinions in as well. Anyone and everyone is welcome. Before we get into the talking points of the stream, if you are new to the channel, people, do drop a like on the stream. If you are a Liverpool supporter or any supporter and you like what you see and you like what you hear, do consider sticking around. Do consider subscribing to the channel, and also make sure you turn notifications on so you know whenever future content drops. I have a lot of time on my hands, people. I have a lot of time on my hands, so I put out streams every single day, more or less. This week, Wednesday, tomorrow, I'm unable to do a stream because I've got to take care of something. But the week after that, I'll be back in my regular routine of streaming every single day without a break. Because if you got the time, you know, a lot of people want to do this, but they don't have the time. I'm fortunate enough to have the time, so yeah, we'll be back doing everyday streams next weekend. However, for today, for this week, should I say, I've got something to do tomorrow, so I'll have to miss a day. But big up to everyone locked in the building. Having said all of that, let's see who's in the chat, man. Let's big up to the people in the chat. Big up to Edward, man. First one in the building. Great to see someone new in. Don't believe I've seen you before. I believe this is the first time I'm seeing you, so big up, Edward. Says big up, Bo. Just recently come across your channel. Thank you, man. Big up to YouTube, I suppose, for recommending me and putting me out there in the algorithm. Appreciate that, Edward. If you like what you're seeing, do of course subscribe to the channel, man. You know, it's much appreciated. And yeah, man, welcome in, man. All I ask is that you be respectful with the community. And yeah, man, big up, big up, big up, big up. Sorry for the caps, just used to doing it at someone else's channel who struggles to read. It's all good, man. No worries, man. I'm not one of those channels that has anything against capital letters or anything, so it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. No need to apologize. Welcome in, man. Big up to my brother Little Cop out in the building, man. Big up to my brother Little Cop out in the building. People, make sure you do sub to Little Cop out. Recently started his own Liverpool channel up. There's some great content over there. You know, another great Liverpool fan channel. If you want anything and everything Liverpool related, right over there on Little Cop Out's channel. So do make sure you go over to Cop Out's channel and show some love, people. Legend in the building. Big up, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope everything's well over your end. Big up yourself, bro. Well, appreciate you being in the building. Big up, big up, big up. So yeah, honestly, people, it's I don't know where to start. I don't know where to start. We could start with the Mbaye news. We could start with the Barcola news. We could just start anywhere else in the team because honestly, I've got to be totally honest with everyone. I'd rather we put this Mbaye money towards getting a DM in. That's what I'd personally do. I think it's just my opinion. So take what I say with a pinch of salt. I think we could do with just bringing in one more winger. I think we could do it just bringing in Barcola. And I do think, even though I would like the addition of Mbaye in the team, I think we'd be better off maybe putting that money towards a DM because I've been droning on about this for a while now, and I, I think we all kind of see the issues there. We've played without a natural out and out six DM for the last 3 years. The last time we had a DM was 2020. 2023. Yeah, 2023. We're in 2026 now. So 3 years ago was the last time we had an actual defensive midfielder. And I just find it bizarre how we haven't replaced our defensive midfielder that left us all them years ago in Fabinho. I find it mad how 3 years later we still haven't got a DM. I find it crazy. I've got to say I find it crazy. It's mad. So I don't know. I don't know, man. Personally, for me, I think that's a position that we should be looking to strengthen more. I know, obviously, winger wise, we're light with Mohamed Salah's departure. Off the left wing, we're a little light there because we know that Gakpo isn't good enough to be that first choice out and out starting winger week in, week out. He's better as rotation. So I get we're light on the left and off the right, which is why we're looking at Barcola and Mbaye. But I think we could manage with just the right winger personally. I do think we could manage with just one right winger. And I personally believe that we'd be better off putting that I think we'd be better off putting that money towards a DM for Mbaye. I think be better off looking at I don't know, for example, a Sangare, a Kamara. Um, I'm not too keen on Adam Morton personally, but he's someone that we could also look at or try and look at. I think we would be better off maybe looking to put that money towards a DM. I don't think it's ideal that we go into this season without a DM option. I don't. I've got to be totally honest with all of you. I just don't think it's ideal that we go into this season without a DM because we know Gravenberch can't play there, or we know it's not his natural position to play there. We know Sabazlai can't play there. Now Sabazlai can be shoehorned there for a game or two if he needs to be, but again, not his natural position. And we know McAllister can also be shoehorned there for a game or two, but again, we know it's not Macca's natural position. Endo for me is a rotation DM. He's someone that you rotate with. He's not the out and out starting DM. I know in Klopp's last season we played him as a starter and he did very well. But I think long term, he's going to be, or he was always going to be a cover option, a squad player. So we don't have no one. You know, you've got Trey Neone there that I think a lot of people are liking the look of in pre-season, saying that maybe we should integrate him into the first team. I'm not totally for that idea personally. I'm not because I just think the guy's still young. He's still a very young kid, and he's still got a lot of learning and development to do. He's had a great preseason. He's looked good in the games that he's played in. But for me, I just got to be totally real. I don't think he should be that starting DM going into next season. I really don't. When you look at everyone else around the big six, Tottenham have got Tonali as a DM. Chelsea have got Caicedo. Arsenal have got Declan Rice. They've all got good DMs. I think Liverpool, we're kind of, I'm not saying left behind, but we're kind of lacking in that area compared to the other big teams in the big six. And we have been for the last 2 years. So I'm very adamant on it. I know maybe it's just me who feels this way. Maybe it's just me who feels that we need to go get a six in. Maybe I'm overreacting, but it's just me, man. I personally think we should go get a six in. If you don't think that, cool, that's fine. That's your opinion. But for me, I think Liverpool would be crazy not to go and get a number six. I really, really do, man. So, nothing against Mbaye. I think I like the look of him. He's a decent winger from what I've seen. I don't know much, to be honest. I've only been watching highlights, but I do like the look of the guy. But just personally for me, I've got to be totally real with everyone. I think that money could be better put elsewhere. Maybe it's just me. Who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, I don't want to say Liverpool are prioritizing the wrong areas in the team because that's not the right word to use. Ultimately, I think we are prioritizing key areas. We're prioritizing that right wing. We're prioritizing the left wing. We did prioritize the centre back. We did bring in Arejo. Whatever people think of him, we did bring in a centre back. And we have brought in Munoz as well. Victor Munoz as another winger. So we're prioritizing the right areas, but the one area that yet again I think is going unspoken about, that yet again I think we're neglecting, is that DM area. I don't know what it is since 2023. I don't know why we've just decided to completely neglect the DM situation, but we have, and we're 3 years on, and we've got no one there. We've got no one. Now, I thought Gravenberch could have been that guy last season. I thought he could have been that guy, but it became very evident that his best position is at 8. He can play in the 6, but it's not naturally his position to play in the 6. I'll be totally honest with you. So, I don't know, man. I think it's a position we desperately need to look at. I really do. I really think we need to look at that position. So, hey, maybe it's just me, man. Maybe it's just me. Who knows? Maybe I'm overreacting on it. Who knows? Who knows, man? Who knows? Big up to Brian in the building. Bless up, Brian, but I hope you're doing well. Good afternoon, brother. Good afternoon. Hope the family's well. Hope you're doing well. Hope the weather's well in London as well, down in London. Big up, brother. Bless up, bless up, bless up. Hope everyone is well. Big up, brother. Big up. But yeah, people, I think that Mbaye money could be better looked at for a DM, personally. If I'm being a little bit greedy here, I would maybe look at another centre back. I know that Arejo can cover right back and centre back, and I know that's what will happen. But I'm just saying, hypothetically, if I was being incredibly greedy here, I would probably look at another centre back. Who's out there in the market? I don't really know. To be fair, I don't look around much, so that's on the club. But I think we could do with another centre back. I really do. I really do think we could do with another centre back. Considering this is most likely Virgil van Dijk's last season at Liverpool, considering he's most likely off in the summer. I hope he's not, but I'm mentally preparing myself for him to be off. We're going to need to go back into the centre-back market next summer anyway, because we're going to need to replace him. So we're going to need a centre-back regardless. Why not just bring a centre-back in as his replacement now, so he can spend a year learning off Virgil, and then next season he can step into his shoes if Virgil leaves, which he probably will. I think it's better off doing that rather than just bringing a player in and then just tucking them in and saying you're going to be the Virgil van Dijk replacement for next season. I think it's better you bring someone in a year in advance, maybe even a year or two in advance, and get them to learn. You know what I'm saying? Get them to learn. That's what I think we should do, because we're going to have to go into the market next summer. We've got Leona here, who I think is a decent centre back. I think Jake will be a good centre back. I like Arejo. I do like him from what I've seen, but I'm unsure whether Liverpool actually decide to sign him permanently. Part of me feels he probably goes back to Barcelona at the end of the season. So I don't know if he's going to be a permanent Liverpool player or if he's just here for 1 year. Gomez is still here for the here and now, but he's more likely to be off than he is to be in. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Virgil's going to go. We'll be down to 3 centre backs, which will be Leoni, Jake, and then Arejo. And we don't even know if Arejo is going to stay. So people, now that I've just thought about this, potentially next season we could have no starting centre backs, because Arejo could be off back to Barcelona and Virgil van Dijk could have left the club. So, mate, I've only just thought about that now. That's only just hit me that we could next summer have no centre backs at all. That's only just hit me now. Wow. So we're going to need to sort something out there, man. I'd love us to do it this summer, but sometimes we're a little bit too proactive than we are reactive. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see how it goes. Hi, Quanick. How are you? The deal done. He officially announces the player of Newcastle right now and today. Yes, from where? Okay, nice. I'm not sure who this player is, Raymond. Quanick's not here, Raymond either. So I'm not sure if you came in here looking for Quanick, but he's not around at the moment. But okay, I'm sure he'll be interested to hear about that. You mean Liverpool are prioritising the right areas, but in the wrong order? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm happy we're going to get a right winger in. I'm happy we're going to get a left winger in. But I'm kind of a little bit unhappy that we're not looking at a DM, because a DM is an important position. Like I said, Chelsea have Caicedo there. Arsenal got Rice there. Tottenham have got a Tonali there. You know what I'm saying? It's a position that I think you need to be solid in. You know what I'm saying? The DM position, you need to have a proper DM. We had that with Fabinho, and I don't think we ever really replaced Fabinho. You know what I'm saying? So, out of all the big 6 clubs, I'd be lying if I said I'm not a little jealous at what Chelsea got in the DM area, what Arsenal got there, what Tottenham got there. Because out of all the big 6 clubs, we're probably the weakest in that area of the pitch when it comes to defensive midfielders. We don't really have one there. We've got Endo, who's a cover one. Everywhere else, we've got H110. So I'm a little jealous because I think we're probably the weakest out of the big 6 in that area. You know what I'm saying? High Profit, how are you? Nicholas should sign for Newcastle right now and today. And Cuckoo, Newcastle United should pay 30 million euros for the move deal for Newcastle right now and today, yesterday. Okay, I have no idea who that player is. I have no idea who that player is, Raymond. Are you a Liverpool fan, Raymond, or are you a Newcastle United fan? I'd love to know. I'm not. No issue either way. I'm just curious what team you support. Interesting what you said there, Raymond. Big up, man. Big up to I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, so I'm just gonna not pronounce it. But big up yourself, man. Good to see someone new in again. I keep seeing Arsenal linked to Barcola, and I'm getting worried They got the pull, Champions the money. I wouldn't be too concerned about it, to be fair, because I wouldn't say Arsenal have exactly got pull, because look at what's happened with Morgan Rogers. Morgan Rogers literally decided to reject them and go to Chelsea, who are not even in Europe. So I wouldn't exactly say Arsenal have got pull, mate. I wouldn't go that far and say they've got pull, because Chelsea just kind of took their player, and Chelsea aren't even in Europe. So that kind of says a lot that a player would rather go to a Chelsea team who are not in Europe this season than Arsenal. So I'm not worried about their pull. Of course, they're champions. Of course, they're a team in England that have won the league. So naturally, they're probably they're probably the hottest prospect for players now in England currently. But I think Barcola's made it clear that he only wants Liverpool from what I've seen. He's made it very clear that he only wants Liverpool. So unless we properly screw this up, I believe Barcola will be a Liverpool player very soon. Unless a catastrophe happens and Liverpool just completely drop the ball on it, which, to be fair, let's not rule it out, because we did it with Caicedo and Naby a couple of years ago. So I don't think it will happen. I think Liverpool get Barcola, mate. So I'm not too concerned about Arsenal being linked to him, and that the players made it clear he wants Liverpool. So I think Liverpool get the player. You know what I'm saying? I do think we get the player. If Arsenal want a winger, you're just going to have to look elsewhere, lads. You're just going to have to look elsewhere. So we'll see how that goes, man. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think Liverpool are prioritising the right areas, but in the wrong order, is what you want to say. It only just hit me there that we could have no centre-backs next season, starting centre-backs. No Virgil around, potentially. And Arejo could be back at Barcelona. So we might even need to bring in 2 centre-backs next summer, which is why we're probably better off extending Arejo and signing him permanently. We could be in another Canate situation where we say we'd be better off signing this player up permanently to prevent extra work being done. In reality, we're probably going to let Arejo go, and then we're going to be in a situation where we're going to have to buy 2 centre-backs when it all could have been avoided, and we'd only have had to buy 1. But if we're smart, we'll look to buy another centre-back this window. So, the new guy can come in, whoever he's going to be, because look, at the end of the day, stepping into Virgil van Dijk's shoes is going to be incredibly difficult. It's not going to be easy to do it. So this player, whoever he's going to be, he's going to have a long, big task to fulfill and big shoes to step into. So yeah, hopefully we don't end up in a situation where we're in trouble. If you need a centre back, how about Tosin? We're good, Brian. If you want to sell your rejects, you can go to United, you can go to Arsenal. I'm sure Arsenal will be more than happy to pick up a Chelsea reject again. I'm sure United will be happy to pick up one. They're good for picking up 1 or 2 of them. At a push, you can even take it to Spurs. I'm sure Spurs will take a couple of rejects. They've done it before. So, yeah, I prefer to look elsewhere, man. I prefer to shop maybe in the Bundesliga, maybe in the Serie A. If we're looking for defenders, you probably look in the Serie A, don't you? Because they're known for playing defensive football over there. So that's probably the league that produced the best centre-backs, isn't it? So we bought Leoni from there. If we're going to look for a centre-back, I prefer we look elsewhere, because we bought Jacquet from France, and Jacquet looks like a very good option that we bought in. Looks like a very good upcoming centre-back, Don't want to get too carried away with it, but he looked very impressive yesterday against not yesterday, on Sunday against who was it we played on Sunday now? Como, that's it. Looked very impressive. So did Arejo. I thought both of them looked very good. So, yeah, we're good on that, Brian. We are good. If you want to sell Tosin, I'm sure Arsenal will be interested. I'm sure if you pushed United hard enough, they'll be interested. But, yeah, I'm not interested in that. I'm not. So, we'll see what happens with the centre-back situation. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that. I really don't know where we go. For now, I think we're done. I think we're done for this summer. From a defensive point of business in the transfer market, I think we'll probably revisit that next summer now, if needs be, which we probably will need to. So, yeah, it's not ideal, but listen, cool, man. We know the way we do things, and I'm all right with it nowadays. I've kind of accepted it. So we look elsewhere now. We're looking at the winger situation. The current signings we have bought in are Arejo, Victor Munoz. Victor Munoz is another one that I think looks very good. I thought he was very good in the first game against Como. I think he looked decent when he came on against Monaco. I like the look of him. Seems like a very quick, direct, no-nonsense winger. So he's still young. He's got insane potential, I believe. So I like the look of him. I think he'll be a good signing. I like the look of Rio, of course. Rio is someone that we've all come to know based off of last season. I think he'll be a very good player for us. I think he's a superstar in the making. Um, who else do we have here currently? Chiesa's good. I mean, you know my opinion on Federico Chiesa, people. I think he's a player that I respect a lot. I like him a lot. So he's good for the experience, Unlike the other wingers that we have, the Munozes, the Rios, Chiesa is a senior winger. He's 28, coming out to 29. So, he's good to have a winger that's got a bit of experience there, having won a Euros, having played at the highest level in Italy, Juventus, having played in the Champions League. So it's good to have that. You've probably got Barcola coming in, another young winger that has potential to really develop and become that next superstar. Mbaye, who we're looking at here, again, young, upcoming, has potential to be that superstar. And then you've got Cody Gakpo as well, who I think is good as a rotation option. Not as a starter, but as that rotation option, something different if we need to have it. I think he's a good option to have there as well. So I think winger situation currently we're good, but I'd imagine if Mbaye does come in, if Barcola does come in, we'd have to sell someone. I don't think we'll sell Chiesa. I think he'll stay. So that pretty much leaves the other one out in Cody Gakpo. I think if Mbaye comes in, if Barcola comes in, if Barcola only comes in, I think Gakpo stays. But if both of them come in, I think that probably opens the door for Gakpo maybe looking to move elsewhere and the club looking to sell him elsewhere. So we'll have to wait and see what happens on it. We'll have to wait and see what happens with with the with the Gakpo stuff and the Mbaye and the Barcola deal. So people, let's bring up the article then. Let's get straight into the news. I've put it off long enough, so we'll bring up the news on Ibrahima Mbaye because this came out earlier. I did put up a short on this, but we'll bring up this. So this is something that's recently come. So this is regarding Ibrahima Mbaye, people. So it says here that Ibrahima Mbaye to Liverpool is progressing quickly. Bayer Leverkusen are now not expected to push for Mbaye. Now, look, no disrespect, people. I really don't want to come across disrespectful here, but respectfully, if you had the option to play for Liverpool Football Club or Bayer Leverkusen, who are you going to pick? It's a no-brainer, isn't it? You're going to go to the bigger and more successful club. I really don't mean any disrespect to Bayer Leverkusen there. I love what they did in the Xabi Alonso. You know what I'm saying? I love how they gave him that pathway to announce himself on the managerial scene, and he did incredibly well there. Had a great team when they did under him. But they're not a huge club, you know what I'm saying? In Germany, let's be honest, people, it's Bayern Munich and everyone else. If any other club in Germany has a good player, chances are Bayern Munich are going to steal him. You know what I'm saying? Bayern Munich are known for taking all the talent in Germany, from Leverkusen, Dortmund, Leipzig, whoever. They're known for being that club that just take all the good talent in Germany. So it's unfair. It's unfair, isn't it? But look, I don't ever think the guy was considering Bayer Leverkusen personally, because at the end of the day, Liverpool are the much bigger club. You know what I'm saying? So you're always going to pick Liverpool over Bayer Leverkusen. So they're not in the race. They're not expected to push. I think they probably realised as a club that if Liverpool are in the mix, if it's between them and Liverpool, they don't stand much of a chance at bringing the player in. So they have decided to just completely exit the race. So it looks like Liverpool are going to have a free hit for this guy. It looks like we're going to have a free hit for Ibrahim Mbaye. Now, this was a story that was circulating a couple of weeks back. I did do a stream on it, but it went a little bit quiet a couple of weeks ago. It has gone a little bit quiet the last couple of weeks, but today it's kind of been brought back into the spotlight. So it's saying that the move is progressing quickly. Positive signs. Anfield Sector are a very reliable outlet, Liverpool-related outlet, so I trust what they say. But it's like, I don't know, man, because the Barcola deals, we keep hearing the Barcola deals getting closer, closer. It comes to a point where I just want. It comes to a point where I just want. It comes to a point where I just want the here we go, people. I'm gonna be totally honest. It comes to a point where I just want the here we go. It comes to a point where I just want to get the here we go. Because I get tired of hearing this deal's progressing, this is happening, we're getting closer. We've been hearing Barcola's close for the last 3 or 4 weeks now. We've been hearing it for a long, long time. Apologies for bringing that up. We've been hearing it for a long, long time, people. So I don't want to keep going back and forth on it. I don't want to keep going back and forth on it. So uh, I don't know. Just give us the here we go, man. Just give us the here we go on it. Mbaye's kind of entered the news now. We haven't even got Barcola done yet, and we're discussing bringing in Mbaye. So it's good to hear that this is progressing quickly. Don't get me wrong. It's good to hear that this move or deal is progressing quickly. However, guys, some of us just want the here we go. Some of us just want the here we go on it. You know what I'm saying? Some of us just want the here we go. We want to see the player holding up the shirt. And yeah, man. Yeah. That's been in regards to Barcola. For this one here, this seems to be progressing quickly. No official bid, no official approach from the club on it, though, from what I've seen. So take it with a pinch of salt. Take it with a pinch of salt. But if you do want to take anything out of this, it's the fact that no one else seems to be interested in the player. So Liverpool are most likely going to have a free hit at that. You know what I'm saying? So that's the Mbaye news. That's what's been said about Ibrahima Mbaye. Or Ibrahim Mbaye. It's not Ibrahima, it's Ibrahim. So, yeah, take with that what you will, people. Mark Walters, one of our owners, is selling up. He's the one who sold LA Lakers because of a federal investigation. Oh, wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Isn't Todd Bowley your owner, Brian? I swear Todd Bowley's the owner of Chelsea. Or is he just the face? I have no idea, to be fair. Blue card, whatever they call it. That's mad. That is crazy, Brian. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Yeah. It's funny, man, what's happened with Chelsea. I can't lie, because for years they were a club that everyone took seriously. And now they're just a club that we kind of laugh at, you know what I'm saying? Because of what's happened to them and how they run. It's not like Chelsea don't spend money in the market, people. So you can't ever turn around and say Chelsea are an unambitious club. They don't show ambition, this, that. I don't think you can ever say that, because look, they spent £1 billion. You know, they spent £1 billion at one point. Now, I don't mean to crap on Chelsea or be that guy, but at what point are we going to talk about them spending money like this and not being competitive? You know what I'm saying? How can you spend £1 billion and not have a league title, or at least be challenging for a league title? How can Chelsea be that club that can spend so much money and then finish 10th a couple of times, finish 4th, finish 5th, whatever? How is it they're never able to challenge for a league? Because you guarantee if Liverpool spent £1 billion and we didn't win a league title or challenge for a league and finish 10th, it'd be everywhere. You guarantee if United did that, it'd be everywhere. So why does it not get spoken about that they've spent all this money and they're not competing for leagues? You know what I'm saying? It's a joke, to be fair, isn't it? It is a joke, but I'm not trying to shit on Chelsea. I'm not trying to crap on them. But that's interesting that you tell me that, man. That's very, very interesting, man. Very interesting. I don't know, how do you feel about that? Is that a good thing, do you think, or is that a bad thing? Do you think that's a good thing for Chelsea or a bad thing? Let me know, man. I'd love to know your opinion on it. I'd love to know your opinion on that. But yeah, people, Mbaye deal reportedly progressing nicely. Progressing nicely, keyword. Let's see what happens with this going forward, because I'm skeptical on this, because I haven't seen a club-to-club approach for him. I haven't seen Romano report that Liverpool are actually going to go out there and make an approach for him. So all I'm really hearing that it's progressing nicely. I don't mean to be funny, guys, but the season kicks off in a couple of days' time. We kick off in a couple of days' time on Sunday, and we ain't exactly got an easy game. It's St James's Park, so we're kind of going into the game without a right winger, are we? So we haven't got a right winger to really play. You'd imagine we're going to do something like Gakpo off the left, Rio off the right for now. Although I think Rio long term will be off the left. But we're kind of going into next weekend without a starting right winger. So I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of it, man. I really don't know what to make of it. Barcola, really, considering this was something that was spoken about. It's been about 2-3 weeks now, hasn't it, since the Barcola news dropped that we were going to go for him, and it looked like we were going to sign him. And it's just dragged on. The deal has just dragged on far too long for my liking. It's like I said, you get fed up at some point. You know what I'm saying? You just want to get a here we go. You know what I'm saying? The quicker you bring the player in, the quicker he gets to meet the manager, gets to meet his teammates, gets used to coming into the new environment. Because let's be honest, guys, Barcola is coming from a new environment. He's coming from France to England. It's a big step up. Coming from a league where it's less competitive to a league where It's more competitive. You know what I'm saying? You're coming into a team that is already known for having winners in there. Um, I don't know how good Barcola is when it comes to his English, so you know you could potentially struggle with the language if he's not fluent there. So look, we've seen it with Wirtz last year. We've seen it with Frimpong. It takes time, doesn't it? We've seen it with other players in other teams. Sometimes it takes time to adjust to this league and get up to the match with the standard of the league. So he might end up needing that period, and you know that's what I'm saying. The sooner we bring him in, it would be better. It'd be more financial for us or beneficial for us, should I say? Because now, most likely, we won't see him until we probably won't see him play until like the first international break. So you know, chances are we won't see Barcola until the game against who is our third game of the season. So we got Newcastle, Forest, Ipswich, Fulham. We probably won't see Barcola make his debut until the Fulham game after the international break at home, um, which is unideal because I would have loved to see him in pre-season. You know, get up to speed with pre-season. I would have loved to see him, you know, introduce himself to the other lads in the team, mingle with the other lads in the team, get used to Iriola's style of play. You know, get used to what we demand as Liverpool fans. But you know, now we're kind of going to have to skip all of that, and it's going to be a bit of a rush thing. I don't want to draw comparisons, but the Isak saga last summer was very similar to this saga. The Isak saga dragged on. You know, we ended up having to put 3 bids in, and then he kind of got rushed in towards the end. Didn't really get a pre-season. He had a hit and miss season because of it. Didn't really get integrated properly. Didn't really get time to really stamp his mark in the team and do what we expected him to do. Like I said, he got injured. He had a hit and miss season because I think him coming in was a bit disjointed, the whole situation in the market with him. Now, the last thing you want is Barcola being in a similar situation to Isak, where he comes in late, we rush him in, doesn't hit the ground running, struggles a bit, and then picks up a knock and he's out. So, you know, we want to learn. We want to learn from our mistakes from last summer, don't we? We want to learn. So, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. We'll have to wait and see how it goes, man. So, yeah, man. Clear Lake Capital are the majority shareholders and they're selling their shares to them. And thankfully, no more consortium, but I'll wait to see what results we get. Fair enough, man. Fair enough, man. Still being cautious on it. I hear it. I hear it, man. It's a bit like the Liverpool situation with Jeff Bezos and them taking over now. I see all these people making their assumptions about them coming in saying, Liverpool going to be the next United, they're going to be the next Arsenal, you're going to go down the route of Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham, United. It's like, guys, we don't know what the hell is going to happen, so chill out. You know what I'm saying? Like, the amount of people that are saying, Liverpool's PR is about to become insane, they're about to head down the Chelsea, United, Arsenal route. I'm like, guys, we haven't seen what these guys are going to do. We haven't seen what these guys are going to do. So everyone making up their assumptions saying Liverpool are going down this road, we're going down that road. How about shut the fuck up? You'd love that, wouldn't you? You'd all love for us to be in the mud with you guys. You know what I'm saying? So, again, perfect example, isn't it, of people trying or praying for Liverpool's downfall. We don't know what these guys are going to come in and what they're going to do and how they're going to really go about doing things. If they invest more, if they do get that full takeover, we don't know what's going to happen. So, all this assuming that we're going to end up being the next United or the next Arsenal or the next Chelsea. That's all it is, assuming, because we don't know. We don't know. So I'm staying away from it because I don't know much about the situation. And I'm going to keep quiet on stuff I don't know much about. The other ones that I'm going to keep quiet on stuff I don't know about. I'm not going to speculate on stuff I don't know about. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. You know, people just love making assumptions. But I hear you, Brian. I hear you on that, man. I hear you on that, brother. Big up to Ant in the building, man. Bless up, Ant, bro. Hope you're doing well, mate. I'm doing well. I'm doing well, brother. Hope you're well as well, man. Big up yourself, bro. Appreciate you being in the building. 38% full takeover next year. Potentially, bro. They could potentially be lining up for that full takeover. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see how it goes. We'll have to wait and see how it goes, man. So, yeah. People, apologies if you can hear cars driving around, but for some reason, everyone wants to get into their car and drive around the block now at this time. So if you have picked up any noise from outside, you know, I am right next to the window, right next to outside. So apologies if you can hear cars driving or anything. Apologies, but yeah, we could potentially see that full takeover. But everyone's saying that we're going down a dark route, or this is going to happen, this is going to happen. You're all just preying on Liverpool's downfall, aren't you? You're all just preying on Liverpool's downfall. You'd love us to be in the mud with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's what they say about misery, and misery loves more misery. And because they're in the mud, they want other clubs to be in the mud with them. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal and Man United, perfect example of miserable clubs. Clubs that are miserable with the way their clubs are run, clubs that are miserable with their ownership, clubs that are miserable with their players, and they want other clubs to be miserable down there with them. Chelsea slowly get into that stage. They're not there yet. Um, but yeah, I don't ever want to become that, and I don't think we ever will personally. So keep dreaming, people. Bit like Trish, yeah, man. Tell me about it, Ant. Tell me about it, bro. Tell me about it, brother. Tell me about it. So here's another article on this Mbaye situation, people. I'll bring this up. This is another one on it. And then we'll move on to discuss the Barcola thing a bit more. So this is what they're saying about this whole this is a bit more news on it, should I say. So this here says, this is from Dave O'Cock. He's another reliable Liverpool outlet. So Ibrahim Mbaye to Liverpool move is progressing quickly, according to RMC Sport. No idea who they are, to be fair. So take what they say with a pinch of salt. Don't know how reliable they are, so I'm not going to speculate. The outlet revealed that Liverpool have agreed personal terms with Mbaye. Liverpool discussing a payment structure for both Mbaye and Barcola. Barcola is all good. So, okay, so he's discussed a bit about Barcola there too, but we'll leave that one. We'll discuss the Mbaye bit. Personal terms agreed, apparently. Well, I haven't really seen Romano saying anything on it. I haven't seen Ornstein saying anything on it. So, I don't know. I don't know, man. I hope it's true. I hope we are close to bringing the kid in or the guy in, but I don't know. I really don't know what to make of it. I really don't know what to make of these people. I don't know how you guys feel about it. And if you're in the chat still, bro, let me know how you feel about this Mbaye saga. Do you think it's a good signing for us? How do you feel on it? I think it's got potential. Youngster. Obviously very talented if we're looking at him, has that potential to grow and develop into that next superstar. However, for the here and now, maybe we should be looking at a bit more experience. I don't know, but I've heard that it's progressing quickly. We brought up an article on that a minute ago. This article says that, this article says that Liverpool have also agreed personal terms with him. Now, again, take with that with a pinch of salt, because I haven't exactly seen anyone reliable saying that we've agreed personal terms with the guy. So, yeah, take it with a pinch of salt, people. But it looks like we could be looking at bringing Mbaye and Barcola in at the same time. So we could get a double. Here we go. We could end up getting a double. Here we go. Just like we did last season with Isak and Guehi. Isak and Guehi was more or less a double. Here we go. I know Guehi fell apart because of obvious reasons, because of Palace being awkward bastards and Glasner being a prick, not letting him leave. But we pretty much got a double. Here we go with them too. So maybe this summer, towards the end of the window, we're going to have a similar thing where Mbaye gets a here we go and Barcola gets a here we go at the same time. So, yeah, man, just don't drag these deals on. That's all I ask. I just don't want these deals to be dragged on, because the last thing we need is another Isak saga from last summer where, a deal just drags on. You know what I'm saying? A deal just drags on. Yeah, the Isak saga was stressful, man, because at one point I was thinking we might have to walk away because Newcastle just aren't budging. They're just not budging on the price. That was one player. Imagine having a saga ongoing with two players at the same time. It's a nightmare, man. It's a nightmare, isn't it? So, yeah, let's not fuck around with this, man. Let's just get shit done as quickly as we can. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get shit done as quickly as we can. But that article is saying that personal terms are also agreed. Dave O'Cock is pretty reliable as well in the Liverpool transfer world when it comes to reporting about Liverpool. So, yeah, if you want to believe him, cool, people. But yeah, even though I trust these Liverpool outlets, I still, for me, Romano's the guy always. Romano and Ornstein are the two that, when they say it, I believe it. Other Liverpool outlets, cool. They do their thing. I respect them. But I think when Romano says it, we all kind of know it's going to happen. Same with Ornstein. So I think until one of those two say something, I'm going to have my reservations. Be honest, haven't really seen much of him. But if the manager wants him, I'll back him. Same here. I don't know much about the guy. I'm doing some research on him now. But a couple of signings we bought, I don't know much about. I didn't know much about Arejo. Had to do some research on him. I didn't know much about Victor Munoz. Had to do some research on him. Listen, I might be unsure about players, but I'm the same as you there. If the manager wants him, we as fans will back him. When he puts on that Liverpool shirt, I back any player. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're a controversial figure, which you guys know what I mean about controversial. But yeah, if the manager wants him, I'm cool with it. If Iriola wants him, I back him, man. Let's hope he can be a good player for us. If we are going to get him and we're serious about him, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to give him a chance. I only believe a chance once the player holds up. So yeah, pretty much, Brian, because even here he goes nowadays aren't reliable because a couple of here he goes have been bottled. Morgan Rogers to Tottenham, was it last summer, that completely fell apart after getting the here we go. Guehi to Liverpool, got the here we go, fell apart. So you can't even really you can't hang your hat on here he goes. Caicedo to Liverpool, people remember that 3 years ago. Caicedo to Liverpool, got the here we go, and then boom, that fell apart, and he ended up at Chelsea. So here we goes are not as reliable as they once were. Romano can, on occasion, fuck things up or muck things up. So yeah, I'm with you, Brian. Until the club officially announced something and the players holding up the shirt, doing the interview, doing the signings, that's when I choose to believe shit. So yeah, man, I'm with you. Once the player holds up the shirt, that's when I think you should believe it. Don't get all these people worried about where Rio will play. If he's good enough, he'll play. He's only 17 with lack of experience, and we're good enough. 16 plus games, we play lots of opportunities to play. Yeah, I don't mind where he plays at, to be fair. If he plays central, if he plays off the right, left, wherever. Like you said, if he's good enough to play, he's good enough to play. Put him anywhere on the pitch. Put him off the left. Put him off the right. Wherever, man. You know what I'm saying? And he'll do well. If he's a good player, he can play on either side. So, and that's the good thing about Rio. He's mobile. He can play left wing. He can play right wing. I wonder how he'd do in the 10. I'd love to see how he would do in the 10 position. Does anyone think that Rio could work out in the 10 position if needs be? I don't think we should play him central. I don't think he could do that personally. But left, right, yeah. Does anyone think Rio could do well in that 10 position if we play him there? Do you think he could put in a performance there, or he can do a job there if needs be? But yeah, man, he's 17, lack of experience, but he's good enough. You know what I'm saying? If you're good enough to play, you're good enough to play. And if you're good enough to play, I assume you can play anywhere. So for me, I don't really care where Rio plays. I'm the same as you. Play him off the left, play him off the right, wherever. Just play him and let him drive, because I was pretty unhappy with how he was treated last season personally by Arne Slot. I don't think he got anywhere near enough game time. I don't think he was treated respectfully at all. You know what I'm saying? So this season, I really want to see this kid drive. I really want to see us try and get the best out of him. So play him anywhere on the pitch, man. Play him anywhere. I agree. Morrison's close to joining Sheffield United on loan. Oh, Sheffield Wednesday on loan. Interesting, man. Good luck to him. Good luck to him on that, man. Good luck to his journey over there. Hope he does well. Up to the manager to decide if Rio's good enough, sees him every day in training. Exactly. Iriola's not an idiot. Iriola, he's unproven in terms of winning trophies, but what he's done at Bournemouth, it's no joke. You know what I'm saying? They were a team that before Iriola were kind of hovering with relegation year in, year out. He came in, got them into a Europa League spot, consistently had them competing, losing their best players and still improving year on, year out. So I agree. I totally agree with you on that. Iriola will know, and he'll decide if Rio's good enough to play. And I think he does think Rio's good enough, because Rio's been getting a lot of game time in pre-season. He's been getting more game time in pre-season alone than he got the whole of last season. The only reason that Arne Slot really gave Rio that game time last season was because his back was kind of against the wall them last couple of weeks. And when he did give him a game time, the kid looked very good. He looked very good. So I think Iriola is the right manager to get the best out of Rio. I do think he's the right coach to get the best out of him. I do. And I do think he's good enough. And I think Iriola thinks that too. Otherwise, he wouldn't give him game time in pre-season. So going into next season, I'd love to see more of Rio. I would love to see more of Rio and what he can do, because I think the potential is there and I like it. Morrison was really our best player in pre-season. Rio didn't really impress, but he's young, isn't he, at the end of the day? And so youngsters are always going to be inconsistent. They're going to have good periods. They're going to have bad periods. It's just the way it is. So that's always going to be the case, isn't it? That's always going to be the case. He's going to be inconsistent, but he'll get there, man. He'll get there as he gets older, you know what I'm saying? So people, moving on to the Barcola news. This is what I've heard recently in regards to Bradley Barcola. So this is from Transfer News Live. Now, again, I don't know how reliable these guys are as a source, so take what they say with a pinch of salt. So Deadline Day Live, sorry. That's their name. Deadline Day Live. So this is what they've had to say in regards to it. Liverpool have submitted an improved 135 million offer for Paris Saint-Germain for Bradley Barcola. PSG have not rejected the proposal and are assessing it after lowering their demands to around 125 million. Barcola wants an Anfield move and has already reached an agreement with Liverpool over personal terms. There we go. To the person who was in the chat earlier saying that they're worried that Arsenal might come in for him and he might be tempted, he wants the Anfield move. It's very clear very clear that he wants the Liverpool move and Liverpool are his target. So I wouldn't be too concerned. About that. He wants Liverpool, and I think we get the player. I do think we're going to get the player, so not too concerned about that in regards to a hijack happening. The issue I maybe have here is with the fee. Ultimately, if you want a player, you pay the money. I don't give a shit how much you pay for him. I'm not one of these fans that cries about, too much money being spent. I don't give a shit. You want the player, you pay what the club want. You know what I'm saying? And you bring the player in. I'm not bothered about money. 135 million, though, that's going to cause controversy with a lot of fans because people were crying when we spent the money we spent on Wirtz last year, when we spent the money we spent on Isak. So I'd imagine a couple of fans are going to be crying, saying that that's too much money. For me, I don't care. I just want the player in, get him in. 135 million, 150 million. Just get the guy in, man. Give them how much they want. So looks like they've lowered their demands to 125 million. We're going to submit 135 mil. So that should get the job done. It should get the deal over the line. So it looks like it's progressing. But again, just give me the here we go on it, man. Just give me the here we go on it. If we can get the here we go on it today or tomorrow, chances are maybe we can see Barcola on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know whether Liverpool have kind of been negotiating, trying to get the fee down from what it originally was. I don't know whether Paris Saint-Germain are trying to get more money out of us or they're a little bit hesitant to lower the price. I don't know. But Barcola wants to move. So hopefully two teams or both clubs can come to a compromise on it, an agreement, and we can get the player in. You know what I'm saying? Because we all want Barcola in. You know what I'm saying? We all want him in. So looks like it's moving nicely. Looks like it's getting there slowly. So we'll see how it goes, man. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's what Transfer News Deadline have said on regarding the Barcola situation. So yeah, I take that off the screen. People, that's what we've got there with that. We'll have to wait and see what goes on, man. I'll give you a perfect example. The game slot got booed for taking Rio off. He was having a quiet game. Yeah, that was I believe that was the Chelsea game, wasn't it? I think that was Chelsea at home, 1-1. That's the game where the fans were booing and they weren't having it. Yeah, I remember that. He was having a quiet game, but it's like we said out there, it's normal, isn't it? When you're young, when you're a certain age, you're going to be hit and miss, aren't you? You're not going to be consistent week in, week out. This isn't Messi, this isn't Ronaldo, this isn't one of those guys that are senior pros in the game, been doing it years. This is a kid who, has only starting his journey in professional football. So he's playing for a big club like Liverpool. He's going to have periods where he looks very good. He's going to have periods where he looks amazing. But he's also going to have periods where he's a little bit frustrating, where he's a little bit inconsistent. And if you've got youngsters in the team, you've got to accept that. And I don't just apply that logic to Rio. I think Victor Munoz will be similar. Victor Munoz is another player that is young, upcoming. I think he's going to be another one where he'll look great at times, but at times he's also going to be someone who is a bit inconsistent because of his age. And they'll get there. Both of them will get there. Both of these guys will get there in the long term. They'll both be good signings for Liverpool, and they'll both get to where we need them to be. But I think we're going to have to show a bit of patience for them as well. We're going to have to show a little bit of patience for them as well. Give them the time to develop, nurture. You know what I'm saying? We're known for that. You know what I'm saying? We're known for giving players time, managers time. Jurgen, we gave him 4 years and he delivered. We gave all of our players time and managers. So I think, again, that'll be frustrating at times next season, both of them, but they're also going to have moments where we're like, wow, we've got a gem here. And I think they're both gems. Rio's definitely a gem. Victor Munoz, I don't want to get carried away, but looks like a gem. Looks like a very good player. And Mbaye, if he comes in again, will be another one. I think he'll be another one of those where he's inconsistent, a bit up and down, but ultimately he'll get there too. And same with Barcola. Barcola's already showing signs of that Paris Saint-Germain. From the few times I've watched him, he's inconsistent. He's good sometimes he's not so good. But again, he's young. He has the time to develop. And he wants to come to Liverpool. Any player that wants to come to Liverpool and prioritises us instantly earns my respect. So we'll see how that goes, man. But it's natural. It's natural for fans to have or players that are that young to have off games every now and then. You know what I'm saying? It all gets better with age. Gerrard away debut at Tottenham. Yeah, exactly. Ginola was running rings around Gerrard, man, against Tottenham. I remember that. I remember that well. And look at Steven Gerrard, went on to be a club captain, went on to be probably, arguably, Liverpool's biggest ever legend, depending on how you rank it. Youngsters, it happens, man. It happens with young players. It happens with young players. You got to give them the time to develop, man. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them that time to settle in, and we do that at Liverpool. We're known for doing that. Other clubs not so much. You know, other clubs expect the signing to hit the ground there and then they don't give time. But Rio should rest assured because he ain't gonna get abuse from us. He ain't gonna get that type of behaviour from us that you'll get at other clubs. We will back the kid. We will hope for the kid's best. I'll see how it goes with him. We'll see how it goes with him, and I do believe he'll be a good player for us, as I believe Victor Munoz will be a good player. But for Barcola, again, I think at this point, I'm going to say it again. Can we just get the here we go on it? Because I want to look at other areas in our team too. I want us to go and look at DM. I want us to go look at some other areas too that we might need to address. And the longer the Barcola deal goes on, before you know it, the window's closed and boom, we spent the whole summer over that deal and then we missed out on a couple of other key areas in our team. Now, we've done decent business so far. We've needed a couple of wingers. We've got a couple of wingers in. We bought Munoz in. We're going to get two more by the looks of it in Mbaye and Barcola. We've done what we need to do at centre-back, brought in a senior centre-back, Kanate. We've got two young centre-backs upcoming that are very good in Zake and Leone. So I like that there. Virgil is Virgil. Virgil is Virgil. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can say he's finished. Y'all can say he's washed. But guess what? Class is permanent. Quality is permanent. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. I think we're doing all right. You know what I'm saying? I think we're doing okay. But yeah, this Barcola thing is a bit frustrating, man. It is starting to get a bit frustrating. It's dragging on a bit too much for my liking. A bit too much. If PSG accept the 135 mil bid for Barcola, maybe they'll buy Enzo. What is are Manchester City not buying Enzo then? I thought Manchester City were going to buy him, man. So that's mad. So they're not going to buy him. That's crazy. That is crazy, man. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. Who knows? Depends how interested they are in him, I suppose. I think it depends how interested in him. Because at the end of the day, Madrid didn't exactly want Enzo Fernandez. City didn't really show that they were serious about him. I think if Enzo Fernandez goes, probably goes to City, Brian, to be fair. I do think City probably come back in. But if you're Enzo Fernandez, why would you want to leave Chelsea to go City? Now, I get it from a trophy perspective, maybe. But for me, if I was in his position, I'd stay at Chelsea. I think you're playing under a better manager and learning under a better manager at Chelsea because I do think Alonso is a better manager than Maresca. I don't see why you want to leave. You go there, you're working under a worse manager at City now. You don't know where they're exactly headed as a club. I stay at Chelsea and learn under a better coach. Personally, that's just me though. Who knows what goes through a player's head. Amount of red cards Gerrard got in derbies, United games at a young age due to lack of experience. Yeah, Gerrard had a couple of howlers back in the day. He did have a couple of howlers. The Everton games, the United games. Yeah, it happens, man. Lack of experience, it happens. It happens, bro. So, again, that was Steven Gerrard in his youth, and look what Steven Gerrard went on to become at Liverpool. So, you got to give players the time, man. I know people are spoiled nowadays. We want success here and there, this, that. But you know what? With youngsters, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, in my opinion. I've been very adamant that you have to give them the benefit of the doubt. So, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes with Rio. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of him going into next season, getting him having more game time. That's for sure. So this is another article on Barcola, people. This is the final one that I wanted to bring up. And this says that Paris Saint-Germain have reduced their price. Oh, hang on. Paris Saint-Germain, so yeah, here we go. Paris Saint-Germain have reduced their Bradley Barcola asking price from 145 million to around 125 million. So they've decreased it by 20%. Liverpool are weighing up whether to meet the new valuation. The discussions between the clubs still ongoing. Obviously, we're going to do it because it looks like we're getting close there. Barcola has agreed personal terms for an Anfield move while talks will continue over a possible revised offer. So I think we know where the issue is then. It's clearly obvious where the issue is in this Barcola thing. It's the price. The player wants to move. Paris Saint-Germain want to sell. Liverpool want to buy. So it's pretty clear that the issue here is that we can't seem to come to an agreement on the price. I think Liverpool don't want to spend too much, and I think Paris Saint-Germain don't want to settle for too little. So it's one of those where we're gonna have to come to some sort of compromise, I suppose. Come to some sort of compromise on the fee. Hopefully, we can give them what they want without having to give them too much. You know what I'm saying? Because if we overpay, I know I say just pay the money, give them what they want, but people, fans, rivals are going to be on to us, man. If we give them a lot of money, they're going to be like, "Oh, Liverpool overspending again, this, that," because we know people are obsessed with our club. So it's the price. It's clearly obvious that the price is the issue here, and Liverpool got to find a way to Liverpool have got to find a way to come to a compromise on how much they want for him. So they've lowered it by 20%, which is generous, I suppose. So from 145 mil to now 125 mil, and I guess we'll see how this goes. This week I think will be a key week. Hopefully it's done, man. But I say that every week. I thought this was going to be done 3 weeks ago when Romano put the post out, and boom, here we are 3 years later. It's still ongoing. So yeah, it's dragging on too much, but I think we can see the issue here clearly is that the player wants to leave. He wants to join Liverpool. Liverpool want him. Paris Saint-Germain want to sell him. The issue seems to be the price, the fee. I understand it. Paris Saint-Germain want what they want. Liverpool don't want to overpay and go too much or too big on him. I get it. It's hard sometimes to find a compromise on the price and the fee. So we'll see how it goes. But I do believe we'll get him in. I do believe he'll be a Liverpool player. And I do believe that Liverpool and Paris Saint-Germain will come to an agreement. And hey, if Barcola cooks at Liverpool, if he does well, it's a move that I think Paris Saint-Germain are going to regret, man. I think they're going to regret selling him if he comes to us and does well. I think they're going to regret moving him on and letting him go. But hey, if he does well and he cooks for us, that's for us, man. That's for us. We're the ones who are going to benefit. They're the ones who are going to reap and sow it. They're not going to get Diamande, so it does kind of, I do kind of wonder, and I don't because I don't care at the same time, but I do kind of wonder if they let Barcola go, who they're going to bring in as their as the right winger replacement, because Diamande is off the table. He's at Madrid now. So yeah, but look, that's their problem. We just want our player in. We just want to get the guy in. So yeah, it's obvious that the price is obviously the issue here, and we'll see what happens with the price. We shall see what happens with the price, man. Yeah, man, that's that. So we'll just take that off the screen, get rid of that. And let's get back into the chat, man. That's the last article I wanted to bring up today. A couple of more people in the chat. Let's see. Man City said they won't pay 120 mil, but I'll believe it when I see. Yeah, I'll believe it when you see it, Brian, because, clubs have done that loads of times. Loads of clubs have said, we're not going to pay this much money for him. We're not going to pay that much money for him. And boom, a couple of weeks later, they pay the money. So sometimes clubs just try and play hardball and shit. So I don't know. If he's going to leave, he probably will go City, won't he? Probably will go City. So you'll have to see what happens there, man. I know you want him gone. Big up to Lumen, man. Big up Lumen in the building. Hope you're doing well. It's unfair on these youngsters to heap pressure on them because if they don't make it with us, they still have good careers. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You want a youngster to still have a good career elsewhere, even if he doesn't make it at your club. So I hear that, Ant. I hear that, but people do that, though. I think that kills a lot of youngsters, man. It kills a lot of players because the amount of players that have come through with potential down the years and then, boom, the pressure's been on them. He's going to be the next Messi. He's going to be the next Ronaldo. It's a lot of pressure, man, for a youngster, giving them that label. So people underestimate how much it can be and how much it can really play on a young kid's mind. So you should never compare them to legends of the game. You should never say he's going to be the next Messi. He's going to be the next Ronaldo. He's going to be the next Gerrard. He's going to be the next, I don't know, the next whoever, man, in the game. Let the kid drive on his own. He doesn't have to be the next anything. He needs to be himself. You want him to make a name for himself in the game, not to just be replicating or trying to follow in another footballer's footsteps from the past. You know what I'm saying? It's very unfair to put that much pressure on players. I think it's very, very unfair, man. So I'm in agreement with you on that, Ant. I'm in agreement with you on that. Prophet, I feel that you aren't convinced on Barcola. No, I've made it clear. I have my doubts on him. I do have my reservations. That's no secret. I've made that clear. But I've also made clear that if Liverpool sign him, when he puts on that Liverpool shirt, when he signs for us, I'm going to back the guy and hope for him to be successful. So whatever I think of him now, while I have my doubts, don't get me wrong. The second he becomes a Liverpool player, I'm going to back the guy. I'm going to get behind him. So yeah, I have my reservations on him, but I had my reservations on Endo when we signed Endo, and Endo's turned out to be a very good servant for Liverpool. I had my reservations on a couple of other players when we signed them. I had my reservations on Gravenberch. When we signed Gravenberch, I wasn't too sure on that. And he's turned out okay. You know what I'm saying? So reservations mean nothing, man. It's up to him to prove me wrong, and he probably will. So yeah, I'm not convinced. I'm a little bit skeptical. I'm a little bit hesitant. But if he becomes a Liverpool player, he's got my backing, man. Anyone who becomes a Liverpool player has my backing. Out of our whole 18s, 21s teams, we'll be lucky if 2 or 3 play for us regularly. That's just the standard. Yeah, exactly, man. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, the first team's going to be full of experience. You're not going to get much youngsters playing or breaking through. So if you do, you're lucky, man. You know what I'm saying? I think Curtis Jones was very fortunate to break through when he did a couple of years ago in 2019. I think Harvey Elliott was also very lucky to break through when he did. So it is hard to break through, man, especially when you've got such a good team, which we had at the time. It is hard to break through. So it's just the standard, man, and it's just the standard that, you know what I'm saying? It is indeed just the standard of the way things are done. So yeah, man. Yeah, but people, I think we've discussed everything, man. We've discussed everything there, man. It's been a good conversation with you all again. Discussed a little bit about this Mbaye news that has broken recently today. So gotten my thoughts and feelings on that out of the way. Gotten your thoughts and feelings in the chat on that out of the way. Discussed the Barcola thing as well. Great to hear people's opinions on Barcola. Really good to hear what you guys think on that. So that's good. And we also discussed a little bit about Liverpool in general as well. You know, it's Tuesday now. We're getting very close to the season starting. Next weekend or this weekend coming is the start of the season. So we're just counting the days down now at this point. We're just counting the days down at this point. It's been a great chat with every single one of you, man. Big up to you all. But yeah, man, you're right, man. I can have reservations on anyone, to be fair, but once he becomes a Liverpool player or they become a Liverpool player, you know, you back them, you know what I'm saying? Because they play for your club. And if you don't back them, what the fuck are you doing as a fan? You know what I'm saying? What the fuck are you doing if you don't back a player? Unless it's someone crap that is beyond saving, like Garnacho, then it's different. But yeah, man. Yeah. Been a great chat, man. Big up to all you in the building. I'm going to big up everyone around. Big up to Edward. Great to see someone new in. Big up yourself, man. Big up Little Copite. People make use up to Little Copite, another legend in the building. Big up Brian. Big up Raymond. Big up my man, another new person in the building. Great to see someone new in again. Big up to Ant-Man every single time. Big up to Lumen as well. Big up to you all, man. People, I'm going to be taking a day off tomorrow. I've got something to do, so I won't be able to stream. Starting from next week, I'll be back in the routine of doing a show every single day. But this week, I'm going to miss tomorrow because I've got something to take care of. So apologies there. There won't be a stream. We'll be back streaming on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then next week we'll just be back in the routine from there on of doing daily streams. Thursday we'll have a big up to Christopher, man. Liverpool signing a player. Hopefully soon, man. But big up Christopher in the building as well. Hopefully soon. But Thursday we'll have a little talk about of something. Well, I'll think of something to discuss. And then Thursday, Friday, we're building up to the Prem, man. Thursday I'll have my predictions. Is it there? No, sorry. Thursday, because tomorrow's Wednesday, I'm not doing the stream tomorrow. Thursday, we'll have something to discuss. Friday, we'll do the predictions. I'll give you guys my expectations for the season from Liverpool's perspective. We'll bring up the table as well. We'll do a whole table prediction on all the teams. Saturday, we'll build up to the Newcastle game. And then, yeah, Sunday, we have the watch long, man. So people, stay tuned, man. Big up to you all in the building. You know, appreciate every single one of you week in, week out, day in, day out. It's great having this community to discuss with every single day. So people, big up to you all. Big up to you all, man. And I'll speak to you guys soon. For now, profit out in a bit. See you guys on Thursday. Up the Reds. Let's go. Peace. I'm out.